breaking news, and as we go to air tonight, the bushfire crisis is escalating.
Fire crews are scrambling to contain 6 bushfires now burning at emergency level across our state.
The sky turned blood red in some areas as fires flared up due to hot temperatures and dry conditions. There is no doubt that in the past year we have experienced catastrophic climate weather events. From devastating droughts to extreme bushfires, floods and cyclones, Australia has been on high alert.
Smell of the smoke just drives you insane, eh? Like when you light that first match, that first grass smell just gets to your nose, and you know that your ancestors and your old people, they'll be there watching you put that first match to clean their land out. We're always hearing about those big fires down south, people losing their family, and you hear how they're burning down there, and it's all wrong. They're doing it all wrong. Nobody seemed to trying to figure out or trying to learn a different way how to stop it. We got tired of seeing people getting hurt down there. I'd like to welcome you all to our country, Taipan country. Oh, yeah, just fall a pedestal. Oh, and that fire May, Rakan, Noring May. Oh, Jimbo Tam.
On our country, we've seen the fires get out of hand and get away from us, and it's only because we're not caring for it appropriately. We're trying to introduce traditional burning back onto country, where Aboriginal people can burn their own country.
It's really important that you understand that we're heading out to a country that's very dangerous and there's a lot of crocodiles. So always be thinking about what you're doing, where you're walking, for snakes. And just remember that any bit of water is crocodile country.
Any little bit.
Any bit. A lot of ecosystems in Australia are dependent on fire, and we need to look after them. Our knowledge of reading landscapes and understanding how fire fits on there comes from thousands of years. And when we look at the bush now, it's unhealthy. It's, there's weeds and there's invasive native, there's unbalanced. And so we need to make the country healthy again. And fire is a big part of that. Ooh, you can smell it, eh?
Western knowledge of fire is that they're afraid of it, whereas traditional burning and Aboriginal knowledge is that we work with it.
Listen up now. What's the safest thing is? Knowledge. The safest thing is knowledge. And as you can see, there it is in front of you. Demonstration.
The fire would actually just crawl along the ground and not leap up into the trees and up into the canopies. And I guess that's traditional burning.
Burn it against the wind. If we were to burn it the wrong way, it would have took everything out. But because the fire is trickling, we're leaving behind grasses that are there for certain birds that need that grass, or it won't burn everything, So it just trickles through all day like this. Like that. Lovely, eh? This is a healthy burn. The trees are in touch. The white smoke from the grasses and feeding the trees to germinate. And the shade all through the country after the fire. It's nice and cool in here, even after the fire, because We haven't harmed any of the trees and the canopies, but yet we've completely cleaned the floor. The right fire does everything. Firstly, it's burning spiritually, and it's a spiritual connection to the country. The second component of it is looking after all the trees and the animals in here and making sure they're not getting all burnt. So we're looking after our biodiversity. And finally, what our burns are is to protect our country from wildfires. No wildfire will get through here after this, for this year. So where we are now, this is what we call Romp, which is boxwood community. So this has been done by an central burn and dropping the bombs on the country, and they've just nuked the place. What happened, they came in on the wind side with the wind and they dropped multiple fires in here, and she came through and roared through, and now this whole place is sad now. No flowers, no shade, no food. And all of this comes from the wrong ignition and the wrong way of looking at country.
It just tears your heart out, eh? It just makes you want to sit down and cry, eh? And you know, after seeing all that country we did and feeling proud of it, but then to get out there and see something what the park just did, yeah, it shatters you, eh? Makes you really sad inside to see something like that.
When you do a lot of the airdropping, you can't tell what's on there and what kind of trees and what animals are there, and it doesn't give enough time for the animals as well to get away.
The Mary Valley side, and he's also on the renewable side as well.
But honestly, do you think this is a healthy burn?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
It's just the resources to look after such a big national park.
Yep.
That's where the limitations come on board. And I think, obviously we will look after the environment the way you guys do culturally, and there's also environmental as well, so we need to make sure those two interact together.
Yeah. There's been massive damage to this area, and it, like I said, it affects the people spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. Like, there's a lot of emotions going on here because a lot of hard work was put into this country. Before they airdropped that area, it took them 13 years, and that's when the old people were still alive that helped them start to regrow there.
It's just laziness, carelessness, and yet they'll turn around and say, oh, you know, we haven't got much resources. Oh, well, it's better than a major bushfire, isn't it? It would have lost everything.
If we get wildfires and like wildfires coming through later in the year, it's going to look 10 times worse than this.
We've got, like Rod's saying, we've got people ready to go. Like, we've been doing this with no money. That's right. For all those years. We never had no money.
So if you guys want to come along and voice your opinions, love you to come along.
There's no excuses. There's no excuses. No matter what anyone says, we don't do that. We're not here to hang anyone or get wild at parks. We're here to work with parks and for them to chest up and to say, well, come on, let's make this better. We've got an opportunity here.
Consultation when it comes to burning country is the key, and good communication, building that rapport with Aboriginal communities. When the land is healthy, the people are healthy. And mentally, we feel a lot better because our country is looking strong, and that also affects our children and our women and our men, and we feel stronger inside because we know that we're doing the right thing by caring for our country. It's all about sharing knowledge and sharing with each other because we've got to share this country. And at the end of the day, it benefits all of us, not just Aboriginal people, but all of us.
have an amazing amount of knowledge that could really show them the right way forward. People can burn the incorrect way, and that's simply because they don't know the land. Governments are big culprits because they're the ones that drive that sort of method. They shouldn't be allowed to apply fire unless they have the right training and understand the country and know how to put the fire in a way that doesn't harm everything.
As we're all getting older, the next generation has to take on these roles, caring for our country and making sure it's maintained and healthy.
See, now everybody got to watch the fire, stop it from going in the camp here now. So you burn him off, look, burn him off, now it's going to die down, now slowly, look, it's going to go up that way there, look, there, look, it's going to stop burning. Now you have to watch down here, look, see, it's going to come back down this way. It's going to go right through now, go all the way down the airstrip. You can't keep going that way.
It's very important that a younger one get out on country with us, light that first match, smell that first burn, and see their country back to the way it is.